2022 High School Media Day, sponsored by the Calhoun County Quarterback Club here at the Anniston Country Club. I'd like to welcome to the stage this time the Alexandria Valley Cubs. Alexandria competes in 5A Region 6. The head coach of the Valley Cubs is Todd Ginn. Today, Coach Ginn has brought with him senior lineman DJ Argo and senior running back strong safety Antonio Ross. Coach Ginn, we will start with your opening comments, sir.
I'm just glad y'all invited us back this year. This is becoming a growing thing and something that's good for football in this area and football in general. And we just appreciate y'all having us. And a lot of people won't talk about, I'm sure, and y'all will like to talk about last year and that kind of stuff. But we've been focusing on us this summer and this bunch, and not worrying about all the accomplishments that we had last year. Just really focusing on trying to. We got a lot of spots we had to fill, and we're constantly working on filling those. Still haven't got a lot of competition going. We started practice Monday because we didn't have a spring practice. So I think this year what we see a lot is a lot of competition for some places, on both sides of the ball. And these two, I brought these two guys beside us. Antonio, super athletic, really hard worker, just a really good kid, leader, has become a great leader. DJ works his tail off. Really not a tall guy, but makes up with it with how tenacious he plays and the things he does. And he's a very bright kid and does everything we ask of him. So really good leaders sitting up here with me today. Deserve to be here and deserve their chance to be in the spotlight. I feel like they're two of the main leaders on our team, and two of the guys that's going to have a lot to do with how we progress this year. I think that's going to be the key to our team this year, is how we progress. Such a young bunch that's up and coming, and a lot of positions up for grabs. So just keeping the course and doing what being physical, playing our kind of ball, and just no matter what the outcome of the first half of the season is, knowing that we're going to be able to get to our goals if we'll just keep working and doing what we need to do.
Question, gentlemen.
Yeah, Todd, in the past, the talk's been three-headed monsters and four horsemen, and who are some of the guys that step in to some of those slots?
Well,
and then how much falls on Antonio this year?
Well, that's one thing about our staff. They do a great job in moving folks around and putting people in places that they can excel. Antonio knows, and everybody in this room knows, that he's going to be the focal point. But he's also the focal point of every defense we're going to face as well. And then he plays on both sides of the ball. And, that's the good part about Antonio. The fact that he's the guy everybody's focusing in on offense, he gets to unleash on the other side of the ball on them as well. A lot of guys get frustrated when they only play on one side of the ball, because, especially at his position, because you're constantly getting hit, because you're going to get the bulk of the carries. But he's lucky enough to play on both sides and get to put that punishment on their offense as well. I think we got Ty Brown's one that comes to mind really quick. That's y'all guys don't know a whole lot about. That's a hard-nosed guy, physical guy. He's going to surprise some folks this year. DeMarcus Williams, you probably know about him from defense last year, but this year he's going to surprise some folks. TK Downing, going to surprise some folks. And then, a big question mark that I've heard all summer, is what about your line? What about your line? Yeah, we lost a lot of big linemen, a lot of good linemen, but the guys have worked really hard. DJ and those guys have worked really hard. We've shuffled around. Last year, DJ was our center and one of the best ones we've had. This year, he's moved to another spot on the line, guard, and because of the things we do, he'll excel there. But there's some other guys. We're a lot smaller this year, but I think we're a lot faster on the line. So we'll just see how that develops.
For DJ and Antonio, share with us when you found out that Coach was going to invite you to come to media day, and what does that mean to you on a team full of 10 or 12, 15 at least, that any one of those guys could come and represent Alexandria, but you two are here today. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me.
pretty much each year I'm just like trying to progress each year and work my hardest, and not only like making myself proud, I'm trying to make everyone around me proud, and that means a lot to me.
It really means a lot to me because, you know, I'm not originally from this school. I moved here last year, and, you know, they really trust me, and they like put me into this leadership role, and that he really believes in me, and that he believes that I can be what I can be.
DJ, I've always believed that the phrase leaders lead, find a way to lead. What do you think you can share with us that they would want to put you in that leadership role? What do you bring to the team?
I mean, I really think I do what people should do, you know? Like, I lead by example. I don't talk a whole lot. I don't yell at a lot of people, get in their face. I just show them what to do, and I just do it.
Very good. All right, Al, question?
Yeah, one for Coach Ken and one for Antonio. Let me start with Antonio. What do you think of that role that you are in now, Antonio, being the guy where last year there was a lot of shared opportunity and excess and whatnot? And what does that mean for your game because you're the guy? And then I have one for Todd.
Well, this year I can't really focus on myself. I gotta focus on my teammates, helping them progress each day, like at every position. On defense, like secondary, we're gonna fly around, and on offense, we're gonna run every route, full speed, catching the ball.
And then Todd, you mentioned what you think this team is going to be like, kind of developing as the year goes on. Isn't that like the team you had a couple of years ago? I think you came here and talked about one that was like young, going to develop, but by the time the middle of the season gets here, it's going to really be something. And it ended up proving itself to be something by the end of the year. Is this similar to that? And I don't remember the year specifically, but it was one of those teams.
Well, I feel like I probably say it every year, I'll be honest. But last year we kind of knew, even though we were filling some spots, last year we knew we had some big old guys taking, and when you got big guys that can move and do what you ask them to do, that's always easy to put pieces together. You know, this year I feel like it's more of the Alexandria team of old, you know, no 300-pounders, no just monster guys. We've got a bunch of 230, 235 guys. And yeah, I said that a couple of years ago. It was all about, and that's why these two guys, you know, it's great in high school ball to see guys progress. It's great to see them from 9th, 10th, and watch their mentality change. Because once they buy into what you're doing, they know we've got some young guys, and nobody wants to lose, and we're not planning on losing. But everything doesn't go your way all the time in football, especially. So, you know, they know we've got a chance to be okay at the end of the year, and we'll be a tough out at the end of the year. We've just got to make sure we stay positive throughout. We've got a tough schedule early on. You know, everybody's talking about Jacksonville, that first game, and how great they're going to be, and this, that, and the other. And I'm sure, you know, their quarterback's as talented as anybody around. But 7-on-7 is a little different than 11-on-11 because you got people running after you. So, you know, a lot of people have counted us out of that game already, and, you know, it is what it is. Whether we win it or lose it, it's up to our guys to make sure that we stay involved and do what we need to do to get better. And I think if we do that, like I said, we got a lot of guys in different roles than they've been in the past. And if we'll have that mindset that we're going to continue to get better, we'll be a tough out when it's all said and done.
Todd, can you handicap the region for us a little bit? I mean, there's you know, a few teams left, and you got a few new faces.
Yeah, I think you know, I don't know what a lot of those guys have got. I'm sure Southside coming down from 6A. Anytime a team drops down, it seems that you know, they're going to be a contender immediately, just dropping down because of their numbers or whatever. And you know, a lot of times we see anytime a team bumps up, they have a harder time. So I think Moody. I've heard Moody's going to be pretty good. I don't know anything about them, but I've heard they're going to be pretty good. Just hearing the buzz that you know, them and Leeds, Southside are all going to be pretty good. Lincoln's always athletic as all get out. So you know, we're just anxious. I tell people all the time, and a lot of people doubt it. We don't work on anything but us. I mean, we really don't. We don't talk about. You can ask these guys, you know, privately or whatever, and they'll tell you the same thing. They haven't heard me talk about anybody, any other team this year except us. And we won't work on, you know, we won't work on Jacksonville till Jacksonville week. We just won't. We'll work on. We got a jamboree against Holt's Bluff, and we'll do some. You know, we'll treat that as a game week per se, kind of, but not as much because you know there's winning and losing not on the line there. But we won't start working on Jacksonville in week 1, and we'll worry about week 2, whoever that is at the time.
Coach, I got a question for you. Now that you're several years into this, do you do anything or approach anything different than you did 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah. I think anytime you come into a coaching role, especially in my situation where your dad was there and they've had so many few coaches, you come in and really micromanage too much. I feel like, you know, in the business world, that's hard not to do as well, micromanaging things. And I think as a football coach, it's tough. All our guys, all our coaches work so hard that it's you need to let them do their thing. You know what I mean? Let the offensive guys do let the defensive guys. And I know I want to be involved, and I want to know everything we're doing, and I'm supposed to. I'm the coach. I need to know it backwards and forwards, and I do. But I think I'm less of a micromanager as time progresses. I think I count on those guys to do more.
Okay.
Todd, maybe you and both the players can talk about this just a little bit, but I want to reflect back on the game last year at Leeds where we came over and televised the game. I've been to a lot of high school football games doing what we do. The atmosphere at Death Valley that day, I mean, there were people with blankets and chairs and stuff when we got there at 12 o'clock. Talk just a little bit about the culture there and the fan base in Alexandria, because it's pretty special.
Well, that's one thing that, you know, if you're from Alexandria, you understand it. DJ can probably, you know, tell you that, because he, like I said, he came from Chilton County, but he can probably tell you, Antonio and I have been involved in Alexandria our whole lives. So we're a little bit spoiled, but the atmosphere, no matter the product on the field at Alexandria, they expect that you're going to get the most out of your kids. Number one, you're going to get the most out of your kids. They expect the kids to give you everything they've got. And then once they see that, it's an atmosphere that's really, really special. I mean, we talk about the Leeds game, but you know, you talk about 2 weeks earlier when we're playing at home. That atmosphere's still there. I mean, you come out and you see, and you know the stadium's going to be packed on our side. You know that every game, you know, and a lot of the visitors that say, hey, we're coming to see you tonight, Coach. We're coming to see you. Well, you're probably going to have to sit on the other side because there's not going to be any seats on the home side. And that's just the way it is. And, you know, we've got a great fan base. We've got a great community that, you know, loves athletics, loves Alexandria in general, and pulls for us.
Todd, you and your staff have been known for coming up with creative ways to use guys. Without, I know you don't want to give it away, but are there different things you come up with this year to do with Antonio?
Well, other than carry it 30 times a game, no, I don't. We try to put players in positions to succeed. And, you know, Antonio, I think he's prepared. That succeeding this year may come in 3 yards at a time. You know, instead of the big play. We had a lot of big play speed, you know, last year, a ton of big play speed, where at any moment anybody could go to the house at any time. And that's because the 2 safeties or the 2 dogs or whatever you want to look at had to focus on both directions. You know, we used Javez really well last year in the Reed game, so Antonio was able to get loose a lot, and so was Javez. And I think I'm not going to tell you the cards we're going to play, but I think some people will be surprised at the people and the positions we're going to put them in, and we're still going to play that game of you're going to have to cover both sides, and y'all will see sooner than later who that person in the position is that I'm talking about.
This is, as we wrap it up, Coach, we'll get your final comments in a moment, but one final question for DJ and Antonio. Who do you guys, each one of you, kind of look up to on the team? Give me a name of somebody that you're constantly watching and see what they do, so you can kind of do what they do as a leader. Give us a name of somebody that kind of leads without them even knowing that they're a leader.
You talk about in the past or on the
No,
present
I'm talking
team?
about on the present team. Who's somebody that you're around that you kind of look and see how they go, and that kind of gives you a little extra motivation. DJ, we'll start with you.
Well, right now we have a young guy, Ty Barker. He works every single day. No matter what, he's working. And he's working to get better every day. He's a young guy, so he's still young in his athleticness and all that. But I mean, he's working.
I don't really have like one person that I look at. I have like everybody, the whole team. So I'm like paying attention to not only just the speed guys, but I'm looking at linemen too, progressing.
Good answer. Coach, again, we appreciate you being here. If you will, give us your final comments.
Well, I didn't mention a whole lot of guys, up here today. And reason being is, we don't know who our tackles are going to be. We don't know who our guards are going to be. We put on full pads today for the first time. And some things will get ironed out today. Some things will get ironed out next week. The crazy thing about us is, last year and the year before, Chavez, he kind of fell into the quarterback role. It was kind of, hey, he may play receiver, he may play quarterback, and then, all of a sudden we find out in the Jamboree game that Chavez is the guy. He's the guy that we need to go with here and make things happen. And I think you're going to see that this year. We've got a quarterback battle still ongoing. Ty Barker, is one of the guys in that mix. But the beautiful thing about this group is they're not selfish. Ty Barker wins the quarterback battle, or if he plays 2 or 3 snaps during the game, he's going to come to work the next day. He's going to have a great attitude. And that's one thing about, our guys. They find out where they fit in, and they do whatever we ask them to do. And that's what makes Alexandria special, and I hope it continues to stay that way, that non-selfish, what can I do for this team? Antonio keeps telling you, team, I'm watching this guy and this guy, and that's kind of how we view it. Let's find the best. Last year I thought we found the best 24, 25 football players. We had that last year, and we found a way to get the most out of them. This year I don't think we got 24, 25. I think we got 17, 18. It's just the way it is. And we got to find the best way to let those 17 or 18 succeed on the football field, and that's our job as coaches. And they're doing their part and working, and we'll let the cards fall where they fall.
One of the things you just said is very true. Alexandria is a special place. Congratulations on all your accomplishments up to this point, and we look forward to watching the Valley Cubs play this fall. Thank you.